Create and maintain a supportive, inclusive classroom. Engage with parents and the community. Treat others as you would like to be treated. These are defining principles that I hold to and will always seek to refine as a teacher and as a person. My name is Hannah Catherine Schneider. I have a very German name, and I usually find myself supporting the German athletes at the tennis and the Olympics. My mother is English, and I have spent my life escaping into the worlds of Tolkien's woodlands, Bronte's moors, and Shakespeare's theatres. Last year, I visited the Netherlands for the first time. Having never given my Dutch heritage a second thought, I nonetheless had the strangest and strongest affinity with the place and people. I couldn't understand their language, yet at the same time I felt I could. Indeed, communicating in ways beyond language is always a joy of mine when I travel. A significant part of my 20s has been dedicated to exploring and understanding various pockets of the world. In particular, I have had a decade-long regard for Japan, which has increasingly extended into the broader Asia-Pacific region. These pursuits largely inspired my progression into teaching, with which I would like to specialise in EALD, both overseas and in Australia. Given what I believe to be genuine interests in culture and places, I would like to think that I bear characteristics of an intercultural mindset as per the intercultural development continuum described by Hannah. I hope that I demonstrate elements of acceptance in that I can recognise and appreciate cultural nuances, and that I practice attributes of adaptation in that I can shift and engage with respective cultures in appropriate and authentic ways. That said, I also want to be wary of ever becoming complacent or presumptuous about this belief of myself. In fact, I would argue that in order to achieve and maintain an intercultural mindset, one must consistently monitor for and reflect on actions and attitudes that may be indicative of monocultural or transitional mindsets. In the past, I also would have aligned myself with an intercultural mindset. With the benefit of hindsight, I now think there were instances where I may have minimized uncomfortable but no less legitimate intercultural questions and conflicts by overemphasizing my perceived notions of similarities and successes. This was unconscious and unintentional, and therefore characteristic of the inherent power and privilege that underscores Australia's more dominant Anglo-Saxon culture, of which I am part. Being consistently mindful and reflective will be especially important for me when working with EALD learners, as I want to avoid perpetuating a misconception that because we are learning English, it is therefore the dominant language. Relatedly, achieving an intercultural mindset with one culture or region does not guarantee the same depth of understanding towards another culture. Inevitably, in my practice as a teacher, I will meet students and families whose culture I know less about. It is through continuous social, emotional, and professional learning that I will meet and navigate these exchanges, striving always to emulate responsive and inclusive classrooms involving and regarding all members of my community. These aims align not only with my duties towards teaching professional standards, cross-curricular priorities, and pedagogical aspirations, but most importantly, my own values and vision.